We're live.
This is the 223rd District Court, Gray County, Texas, proceeding via Zoom via video conference. The court is allowing the party to appear via Zoom via video conference as authorized by Rule 21D of the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure. We're hearing cause number 40926 in the interest of Eliana Grace Estes, Jacob Q. Estes, and Sabrina Grace Estes, children, on temporary orders. Mr. Lambert, on behalf of the petitioner, are you ready to proceed?
We are ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Let's see. The record will reflect that Jenny Harkins, the respondent, is present on this Zoom hearing. Ms. Harkins, are you also ready this morning?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. Mr. Lambert?
Your Honor, we would call Stormy Estes. Mr.
Estes, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lambert?
All right, Stormy, can you state your full name for the court, please?
My name is Stormy Ray Estes.
And we filed this case on or about July 11th of this year. Is that correct? Can you hear me?
You'll need to answer yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. And it concerns Elena, Jake, and Sabrina. Are those your children?
Yes.
And are those all children that you share with Ms. Harkins?
Yes, sir.
And is it fair to say that the relationship between yourself and Ms. Harkins has been an on-again, off-again relationship?
Yes, sir.
We don't have the time nor the resources to go through the entire thing, but let's just talk about the last year and the last school year. Can you describe the relationship and arrangement between yourself and Ms. Harkins?
It's been very difficult. She just, I guess, makes decisions for the whole family. She's just don't like to stay home. She likes to go out to the bars and drink. She just doesn't present herself as the same mother as she used to.
Okay, you're not really answering the question. From time to time, would Ms. Harkins decide that she did not want to be with you? She find another boyfriend?
Yes, sir. And it's about 2 or 3
Hold on.
different ones.
One talking person at a time. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
when she would find that person, would she then move in with that person?
Yes, sir.
And did that happen one time or several times?
Several times, and if she didn't have a place for him to go, they would move in with her parents.
Okay. And her parents are actually the ones that live in Oklahoma, correct?
Yes, sir. That's where she's at now.
Okay. And that's where she ran the last time the last relationship failed, when you would not let her come back to you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And at that time, before she had left Texas, did Miss Harkins have regular employment?
Not regular. She doesn't keep a job very long at a time.
Okay. So how would she provide things for the children? How would she take care of them?
The only way I can think she'd be able to is probably government care.
Okay. Are you aware if the children were getting food stamps or other benefits from the state of Texas?
Yes, sir. She was getting Texas food stamps.
And did the children go to school in Texas this entire school year last year?
Yes, sir. They did. They finished out the school year.
So if she had submitted some kind of sworn statement talking about how she's a resident of Oklahoma and she's done all these things in Oklahoma, that would be a lie, would it not?
Yes, sir. It would be a lie.
Okay. But in all fairness to her, when things are not going her way, she runs to her parents' house, correct?
Yes, sir.
And she takes the children with her.
Yes, sir.
And is that what happened this last time?
Yes, sir.
Now, when she was with the last boyfriend and living with him, can you explain to the court, how are y'all taking care of the children? Y'all have 3 children. They're all school age. Tell the court how y'all were doing things. How were y'all co-parenting?
She moved into the neighbor's house next door to her boyfriend's and stayed at her boyfriend's, so she just bounces between the 2 houses. And the kids pretty much stayed at the house with me. Our oldest daughter didn't even want to go over there with her. That's how distant she kept herself the last couple months before she took off with them.
Okay.
We were both picking them up from school, and we were doing good for the little while, and then things just went really south when I guess her new boyfriend wasn't happy with the way I raised my kids and the way my kids talked to him, so she took them out of state.
Okay. And when was that exactly that you left the state this last time with the children?
It was been, I want to say 2.5 months ago.
Okay. And when she left, did she tell you that she was leaving with the children? Did she tell you that she was moving?
No, sir, she didn't tell me anything.
Has she done that before?
Yes, but usually she just told me a couple, like an hour or so in advance. This time she didn't tell me anything.
Okay. And you said that's happened before. So is that her habit? Is that how she does things? She just decides
Yes, sir.
she does.
Yes, sir.
And then whenever you try to make some actions to attempt to contact or see your children, is that when things like protective orders and the police are called?
Yes, sir.
And is that what happened in this case?
Yes, sir. Every time I'd go and drop my kids off or pick them up, they'd take pictures of my vehicle and tell me that I'm harassing her.
Okay. Even though they're your children too.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you keep saying the house. Do you have a house you own?
Yes, sir, I do. In Pampa.
Okay. And what kind of house is it?
It's a 3-bedroom brick home.
Does each child have their own bedroom or sleeping situation?
Yes, sir, they do. The girls have their room and Jacob has his room.
Okay. And you've got how many bathrooms?
1 bathroom.
Fix to not be enough with a teenage girl coming up, man. I guess you'll
No,
fix-
I tell you, it's not.
Okay. So you have a place for him. Lives at that residence.
Just me until my kids come back home.
Okay. And has that been the way it's been? Either you have a place for your kids, or when you and Miss Harkins were together, y'all would all stay in that home?
Yes, sir, we would.
Okay. Now, as far as you understand, how are the medical care for the children taken care of?
They have Indian care in Oklahoma.
Okay, you cut out a little bit. What did you say?
They have the Indian care in Oklahoma.
Okay, more specifically, where do they go?
To Clinton, Oklahoma, to the Indian Reservation Hospital.
Okay. Now, that is care provided over there. Are you aware whether or not, in addition to the Texas food stamps, if Jenny had applied for Texas Medicaid for the children?
That I'm not aware of.
Okay, so I can ask her that question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but as far as the hospital in Clinton, Oklahoma, you have the ability to take them over there and give a social security number or something to secure care for the children.
Yes, she'll need to release me that information.
Okay. But as far as, well, let me ask you this. Does that care cover all of their medical needs, or some? How does that work? How has it worked?
Before the Indian care has covered everything the kids have needed, all we have to do is take them to Clinton, Oklahoma. They go to the doctor, they see their doctor and get their medicine pretty much all in one spot.
Okay. How about their dental needs? You and I may not talk about this, but we need to
it's
address
pretty much the same way. They go and they get seen in Clinton by a dentist there, and then they refer us to Oklahoma City if they have to do anything else.
Okay.
What tribe is that? What tribe is
I'm sorry?
What tribe?
I'm not for sure, but I think it's Choctaw.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, as far as and what contact have you had with Miss Harkins since this action has been filed?
Well, and we went to court in Oklahoma because she put an emergency protective order on me, pretty much just to keep me from going to Oklahoma to get my kids or seeing my kids. So I'm not allowed to call her or text her. I haven't talked to my kids all summer. I haven't talked to them, seen them or anything. because of the emergency protective order they put in place in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and in truth and in fact, the judge in that case asked why y'all weren't doing this in Gray County, did she not?
Yes, sir. She did ask that.
Okay. And did you explain to them we were going through the process in Texas, but that it takes time?
No, sir. They wouldn't give me a chance to speak.
Okay. So effectively, she's kept you away from children, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why would she do that, Stormy? Is there any reason that you should not be able to see your children?
The only reason she did it was because her new boyfriend doesn't like me. I mean,
No,
that's just pretty much why she did it.
stop talking. Is there any reason? This is where you get to tell the court, is there any reason? I'm not talking about a boyfriend. Is there any reason that you should not be able to see your children, Stormy?
No, sir. There's no reason.
Do you have any criminal background for child abuse?
No, sir. I do not.
Do you have any issues with CPS that don't involve her?
No, sir. I don't.
Okay. Do you have any problem taking care of your children by yourself?
No, sir. I do not. I did it for the beginning of the summer when she left for 2 months by myself.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit. The beginning of this summer or the beginning of summer?
It was the beginning of summer. The last 2 months when school was still in.
All right,
That's when she first left.
So the last 2 months of school, did she just leave totally?
Yeah, she started sneaking out in the middle of the night to smoke like secret cigarettes and going to the bar and stuff while I was asleep. And then I woke up and I went through her phone and I found out.
You found out about the boyfriend, the last boyfriend?
Yes, sir. I went through her phone.
For that 2 months, then when she left, did the kids just stay with you and did you take them to school and you did all that yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is there any reason that you could not do that again if you needed to?
No, I can perfectly do it if I need to.
Okay. And what support system do you have there in Gray County?
Here in town, I have 2 twin brothers and a sister that lives in town. I also have a family friend, Jennifer Grajeda, that lives across the street from my mother, which is 2 blocks from my store. That'll watch my kids anytime I need her to.
And is your mother there?
And my mother is here. She works down the street from her home. And she's usually I get off at 5 and she gets off at 2 and she's off on the weekends. So the way I've set my days off are that way somebody's always with the kids. That's family and not a babysitter.
Right. And are you a manager there at your work?
Yes, sir. I'm a store manager.
So do you have a little bit of flexibility with your schedule?
Yes, I have I have a lot of flexibility on my schedule.
Okay. But you still have to work, right?
Yes, sir. I do have to work.
They're not just going to give you the free time, all the free time, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, one of the things that you have asked for, Stormy, you've asked for a geographic restriction, and you had asked, I think, in writing that it be Gray or any adjoining county, right?
Yes, sir.
You understand that she's already fled the county, and we know that's where her parents live, and you know that as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you understand that the court may end up hearing evidence that makes them believe that Beckham County should be included in that as well. But why are you asking for a geographic restriction?
Because the last time I woke up in the middle of the night and she was outside smoking and hanging out with some guy outside, and we got into it and she left and she wasn't supposed to come back. And I go to work, and when I come off, her and the kids are moved back in the home, which we argued about it and talked about it through text messages. And I told her, I only want my kids. I do not want you. But she pretty much forced herself back in anyway. And then here we are doing it all over again.
So has that, in your opinion, has that been the source of the problem? So wait a minute, you were in bed with her one night and then you get up because she was not in bed with you and she had another man outside of your house talking to him?
Yes, sir. Yes,
The house
sir.
you live in currently.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And shockingly, that caused an argument.
A huge argument. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have told her that you want the children and you're willing to do whatever with the children and you'll take care of the children. but that y'all are done, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you don't want her to take the kids, and if she meets a boyfriend from Wyoming or wherever, then she just takes off to Wyoming.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Does Jenny have a reliable car?
She has a vehicle. I don't know how reliable it is.
Okay. Has that been an issue in the past with her?
Yes, sir. The vehicle, it'll break down, and then I'm expected to fix it. And if I don't, then I'm blamed for whatever's wrong with it if
Okay.
I don't pay for the parts.
Okay. What's the last thing you fixed on one of her vehicles?
The last thing I fixed on it was a fuel pump, but it recently went out again as her vehicle was tampered with, and she was blaming me for it.
How much did the fuel pump cost?
It was like a $350 part, and
That's
it
not,
was under her warranty as well. So,
but you changed it out.
I know I buy the parts, whether her parents or her dad, or she takes it to a mechanic to have them fixed.
Okay. And you did that this time as well.
No, this last time when it went out, she took it to a mechanic of her choice. I don't know who it was to have it fixed.
And they didn't use the warranty for the part.
No, sir. They said the part was going into evidence that they're trying to prove that I tore it up or something.
Okay. And let's talk about that. Does she make all kinds of allegations against you on a regular basis?
Yes, sir.
What's the latest allegation? What's the allegation with the car?
She's saying that I put a whole bunch of canned chicken into her gas tank to make her lose her job and lose her apartment, and everything that goes wrong with her is she just tries to tell me that it's my fault.
Now you're under oath and you've got a judge here, and so perjury applies. Did you put any canned chicken in her fuel tank?
No, sir, I did not.
Did you put any kind of chicken in her fuel tank?
No, sir, I do not.
You put anything in her fuel tank?
No, sir, I do not. I don't even put gas in her fuel tank, and I bought her a lock and gas cap.
Does she use it?
As far as I know, I mean, she has both keys to it and the gas cap on it, as far as I know.
Okay. And as far as any job loss or anything like that, has it been her? Does she have problem making it to work on time?
Yes, sir, she does.
Okay. And when her last job was at Walmart, correct?
Yes, sir.
And did they in fact take up a collection and get her a vehicle based on all the bad things she told them that you'd done?
What they done was they helped her get an apartment, and one of the employees there let them use her vehicle so she can help pick the kids up from school and then go to work and go home and everything she needed to do.
And after they did that, how long did she stick with Walmart?
Less than a month.
Okay. So every time somebody tries to help her, that she just does what she wants to do. Is that your opinion?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Stormy, are you asking that y'all be named joint managing conservators?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out.
Are you asking that y'all be named joint managing conservators of the children?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking that you be named as primary managing conservator of the children?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking that they reside primarily with you there in Gray County?
Yes, sir.
Are you asking that you be allowed to register them for school?
Yes, sir.
In the same school district that they attended last year, correct?
Yes, sir.
You can get them to school, correct?
Yes, sir.
Done it, right?
Yes, sir.
And can you feed them or clothe them without need for extra government benefits?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. And even working your job, do you feel that you have a support system in place to help you achieve these things for the kids?
Yes, sir, no doubt.
And whatever visitation arrangements would be made between yourself, yourself and Ms. Harkins, are you asking that the exchanges take place at a neutral place?
Yes, sir. The sheriff's department in Gray County would be perfect.
And is that because of the allegations and the problems y'all have had in the past when it comes to just trying to exchange the kids?
Yes, sir.
And does that usually end up with the cops visiting you?
Yes, sir. They even go as far as her parents calling in welfare checks at my house on a school night at 10 o'clock at night.
And you would like that to stop, correct?
Yes, sir. And I've already talked to the chief of police and the sheriff Big Mac here in town, and since then I've had any issues.
And so you wish that any exchanges be done at the sheriff's department there in Gray County, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you asking the court for anything else specifically on a temporary basis?
Other than what you mentioned, that's exactly what I want.
And obviously, whatever visitation schedule that the court puts in place, you understand that you'll have to be in compliance with that just as much as she is. You have to have children somewhere, you've got to do it.
Yes, sir.
And if she has to have the children somewhere, she has to do it.
Yes, sir.
And you also realize we're already in August, so school's fixing to start up here in about 2.5 weeks. Can you get all that spooled up? Are you ready to get the children back to school?
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right. And do you believe that that arrangement is in the best interest of the children?
Yes, sir. I do.
And are you also asking for what we call the standard injunctions be put in place between you and Ms. Harkins, so that y'all aren't supposed to touch each other, be nasty to each other, communicate in foul language or anything like that?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking that those be made joint and mutual?
Yes, sir.
In other words, whatever you ask the court to make her do, you're going to have to do the same thing.
Yes, sir.
And are you asking that that be extended to family members and other friends or agents of either of you?
If it needs to be, yes, sir.
And do you believe that that arrangement is in the best interest of the children with the school year?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
We're going to take about a 2-minute break. I don't want anybody to go anywhere, particularly Mr. Estes, because we had such a hard time getting him on. So
Yes, sir.
I will be right. Well, Mr. Estes, I guess it's just you and me, huh?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
there's Ms. Harkins.
I'm back. Your Honor.
You covered your Ms. Harkins and you covered your cameras. We're back on the record in cause number 40926 in the interest of the Estes children on temporary orders hearing. Ms. Harkins, did you have any questions for Mr. Estes?
No, sir.
All right.
I have one more question. Stormy, are you requesting that you and Ms. Harkins be ordered to communicate solely through the free app close for the duration of this law?
Yes, sir.
That's a free app that both of you can get signed up on, and that way it's easier if we have to have any of these conversations in court at a later date, and it's something that we use. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
That's all right. That's all right. Ms. Harkins, does that generate any questions?
Not at the moment. I don't have any questions.
All right. Mr. Lambert, you may call your next witness.
Your Honor, we would call Harkins.
All right, Ms. Harkins, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give and the matter now in the hearing before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lambert?
Jenny, can you state your full name for the court, please?
Jenny K. Harkins.
And are you the mother of Lina, Jacob, and Sabrina?
Yes.
And are you currently at your parents' residence there in Oklahoma?
Yes, sir.
And we're on the internet, so I'm not going to go specifically, but is it in Beckham County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when was the last time that you left Texas to go through this last time? If you remember.
It was about the end of May.
Okay. And isn't it true that your children finished school and attended school in Gray County, Texas the entire year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what grades will they be going into this year?
Kindergarten, second, and third.
Okay. So your oldest is a third grader all the way down to you had a pre-K, or were they doing pre-K this year, or did y'all just a different program, the youngest one?
She was in pre-K.
But now she steps up to the big leagues. So
Yes, sir.
for you. Okay. Now, and to clarify for the court, which tribe are you a member of?
Choctaw.
Okay. And Stormy was correct in that y'all would obtain all of the children's medical care needs there in Clinton. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir, I would.
Okay. Now, if he has the children he's going to have possession regardless of what the judge rules. How will he be able to secure medical care for the children if he has them?
As far as I know, I'm the only one that's able to do it.
Okay. So there's no paperwork you can sign. So the father, because the children are covered because they're also considered members of the tribe, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's how they get their medical. And I want to clarify for the court, because we have to, they meet their dental needs over there as well.
Yes, dental, vision, any kind of medical surgery, anything.
Okay. But they get both those needs met there at the hospital in Clinton.
Yes, it's a Indian Health Center. It's not a hospital.
Okay. So is it then, is it only Choctaw that can go there, or any tribal member?
Any tribal members.
And you had, what benefits did you have for children during school this year? Were they on did you have food stamps from Texas?
Yes, sir.
Were they on Medicaid for Texas?
No.
Okay. So just the food stamps portion, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who applied for that? Did Stormy or did you?
I did.
And how is that done? Like, is it done by the year, by the 3 months, by the 6 months? If you remember, if you don't, that's fine.
I don't remember.
Okay. So within the last couple of years, would you agree with Stormy that y'all's relationship has been off and on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And when he says that from time to time you would get a boyfriend and you would move out and move in with that person, that's true, isn't it?
No. This last time it was true, but any other time before that, no, it's never been true.
Okay. Well, then let's just focus on the last time. Was that individual living in Gray County as well, or around Gray County?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so you were still in Gray County as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I think you talked about when you were working at Walmart that they had tried to help you get your own apartment and stuff like that. How long were you in that apartment?
I got my apartment myself. I did not have no help with it. The only thing I got help with is one of my coworkers had bought me a air mattress, a comforter, and 2 pillows. That's all I got help with. And then one of my coworkers did let me borrow her car while mine was being fixed.
Okay, so it's your testimony that none of the employees helped you in any way get that apartment?
Yes, sir, that is true.
Okay. So how did you apply for that? I'm assuming that apartment would have been on government assistance based on your employment, correct?
No, it was not on government assistance. I paid $900 a month for my apartment.
Okay, and how long were you there?
I was there for about 2 months before I had lost my job in my apartment.
Okay. Now, when you say lost your job, you worked at Walmart, correct?
Yes, sir.
What position did you hold for them?
I was a cashier and I worked at customer service.
Okay. And what hours did you have shift, or did your hours vacillate?
I worked in the mornings from 7 to 3. That way I could drop the kids off to school in the morning and pick them up after school.
Okay. And did you lose your job because of not attending, or something you did, or was it something they did?
When I was living in my apartment and I had my kids over there sometimes, whenever it was Stormy's days to watch them, because we had there for a while, we had agreed that we would have them every 2 days. And some days he would not come get the kids. He would not watch them. They were sick and I didn't have nobody else over there to help watch them. His mother wouldn't help watch them. None of his family members would help me out. And I had to call into work 3 times and I already had a couple of points. Walmart has a 5-point system. Once you get 5 points, they fire you.
Okay. So you got fired and it's Stormy's fault you got fired, correct?
I didn't have no help with our children.
No, that's not what I asked, ma'am. You clearly said that the children were sick, that Stormy refused to help you or didn't help you, and that nobody would help you. So you got fired at Walmart and it was Stormy's fault. That's what you're telling the court, correct?
Yes, that's what I feel.
Okay, that's what you feel. And when you was the apartment that you had, was that when this other relationship was going on, or was this after, or what?
The relationship didn't start until after I had already got my apartment and had been there for like a month.
Okay. Okay. And then you stayed the 2 months there, and then when you lost your job at the end of the day, pretty soon thereafter is when you took the children back to Oklahoma, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't feel the need to tell Stormy where you were going with his children?
No, sir, I did not, because he had one night whenever he was supposed to be watching the children, because we agreed on the 2 nights. Yes, sir, I did go to the bar because they were having a band playing, a live band, and I went up there to go watch the band, and he texts me and keeps calling me over and over and over saying that our son Jacob was sick and that I needed to take care of him because he couldn't. And I just ignored his messages because it was his day to have the kids. And then finally, after about 30-45 minutes, I looked at my phone and he said, "Leaving the kids by your car and I'm taking off." And I have the messages to prove it.
Well,
And I made a report to the cops that night too.
you've called the cops several times. Do you have any reports on you that you can turn over to myself or to the court that back up that assertion? Because I'm not seeing anywhere where that happened. We know about the allegation.
I do not have them at the moment, sir, but I can get them.
Okay, and we can subpoena those as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as I see in your letter here, you're in the process of getting an attorney in Texas and in the process of finding a full-time job and in the process of finding a resident in Oklahoma. You really don't have a place to live. You don't have a job. You don't have anything there other than your parents, correct?
At the moment, yes, but I've been working on it.
Okay, well, you worked before and that didn't really work. Do you have any job interviews lined up that the court should know about? Do you have a job right now that the court needs to know about? Because they're wanting to know.
I'm just making a little bit of money under the table right now, helping cleaning, and I do have a interview on the way.
And who is that with?
Screamin' Jacks in Sayre, Oklahoma.
And what do they do?
It's a barbecue restaurant.
Okay. Is that the type of work you've done before, or is this a new branch out for you?
I'm used to doing fast food and cashiering.
Okay. That's kind of your area of expertise.
Yes, sir.
And I'm assuming when you saw the posting for that job, you saw what kind of hours it would have. Do you know what kind of hours? If we're thinking positive and we're thinking you nail the interview and get the job, what kind of hours would you be working?
I would be working probably 7 to 3. That way my kids, I'd have time to drop them off and pick them up from school.
So you think you're going to get a morning shift at a barbecue joint?
Yes, sir. They have breakfast there too.
Okay. Okay. And as far as your own residence, you don't have one of those. So what is to stop you from moving back to Gray County?
I don't care to be around somebody who wants to harass me
Well, right now that fact is in dispute. What is not in dispute is that at the end of the school year, you took the children and went off to Oklahoma and didn't say anything to their father. I think if the shoe was on the other foot, would that have concerned you? If he had taken the kids and ran off to another state, would that have concerned you as the mother?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to pass the witness.
All right, Ms. Harkins, do you have anything else you'd like to tell the court?
Just that the reason why I left with my kids is because I did not feel safe with them around their dad. Every chance he got when he went to drop them off with me, he would just leave them outside and take off. Leaving them outside of the bar by my vehicle and telling them to stay there till mommy comes out. He's abused me before in front of my children. He always has guns laying all around his house. He does illegal drugs in front of my children.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Mr. Lambert, does that generate any questions?
I mean, let's take some hair follicles. Let's have everybody go do one then. If that's the line we're going to say.
I just had a mouth swab done the other day at the DHS office.
That's not the same thing. But
Any questions, Mr. Lambert?
no, sir.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Harkins?
No, sir.
Right. It's the order of the court, of course, as Mr. Lambert knows, the court has issued a standing order, which was attached to the original petition. The terms of that standing order become a mutual temporary injunction against both parties. And I think that's what you were asking for, because I think it's typical language. And so it becomes a mutual temporary injunction by its own terms unless it's changed. So that will remain in place. The court will grant the petitioner's request for temporary orders as contained on page 4 in his original petition, with the following exceptions, and that is that the court will not order the respondent, Jenny Harkins, to pay any kind of child support at this time. Again, let me stress that these are temporary orders. This is not the be all, the end all, the final say. But those temporary orders will be effective as requested. I think on the you're requesting a geographic restriction in these temporary orders, and I think that primary residence of the children, Mr. Estes, you're not planning on moving to any adjoining counties, are you?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm going to, because these are temporary orders, I'm going to issue a geographic restriction to Gray County, Texas. Of course, the parties will be joint managing conservators. Mr. Estes will be primary. He will, well, I think I'm going to order Ms. Harkins to make sure that Mr. Estes has access to the Indian Healthcare Center in Clinton, Oklahoma for the healthcare of the 3 children. Everything else will be as contained in the request for temporary orders. And then one thing that certainly, Mr. Lambert, you have thought of, I would suppose, is have you contacted the Choctaw tribe under the Indian Child Welfare Act?
Until we got here today, Your Honor, I did not know. So I will be making that call.
Now that needs to be taken care of, and we'll see if they want to leave jurisdiction in Gray County, Texas, or if for some reason they want the tribe to take jurisdiction over these children.
We will be doing that, Your Honor.
All right. If you'll prepare the order and make sure Ms. Harkins gets a copy of that. Possession and access standard.
Yes, sir. It would be her weekend, since it's the first weekend of the month. If she could return the children to Gray County Sheriff's Office at 6 p.m. Sunday.
Okay.
Start it from there.
Okay. And that would be Sunday at what, 6 at the Gray County Sheriff's Office. Ms. Harkins, did you understand that?
6 in the morning or 6 in the evening?
6 p.m.
Okay.
I don't get up that early anyway. And
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sure y'all don't.
And can I have a good email from Ms. Harkins so it'll speed up me getting information to her?
All right. Ms. Morris, if you take us off YouTube.